Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Doc, and Planet Zoo just posted its update 1.10 log, and there are so many exciting things to go through, so let's get into it. First up, we have the education stations. Now, we already know that what we have in the game at the moment is not exactly adequate when you really want to work on your education rating. The three different types are absolutely stellar. First, we have the height measuring station. It is the one you see over here with the picture. It says compare your height against the giraffe and the gorilla in your zoo. This type of stuff already exists in real life zoos, and some players have been making these type of things just as a decoration to make the zoos feel more realistic. But obviously when you just use the scenery pieces and make decorations, guests do not interact with them. However, with this update, it seems like we're going to finally get some real guest behavior that does not make them feel like they're just robots. Next up, we have the soundboard station. Guys, this one I'm very excited about, especially because some of us in the game, some of us in the community have been talking about this type of feature being added because it just adds more reality to the zoo. Moreover, it also makes sure that if you want to build like a little museum in your zoo and you want to have your guests interact with this type of thing where they play different types of animal sounds, because when you go to natural history museums, you can usually hear like the sounds of birds and everything. This only adds to that. With this update, we can finally get something like this. I think this is the sound station, which looks pretty cute, especially if you want to make a little children's playground. You can absolutely make use of these, and you could make your zoo feel so much more personal and so much more amazing. We will also be getting a paw print station. Compare your hands to the paws of the animal. How big is yours in comparison? Guys, this is amazing, especially if you want to make like a little tiger exhibit or a cloud leopard. I don't know if this is going to be implemented for every single animal that has paws. I think so, but if not, still we get a very cool feature for some of the animals, and we can see our guests interact with the animals around them instead of just saying, I cannot see what is right in front of me. They've also added that child guests interacting with our education stations will boost our zoo's conservation ratings. Next exciting guest behavior is group photos. Now they're going to be taking group photos like real people and not just walking around aimlessly in the zoo. Next, guys, we have an animal behavior update. This actually shows that Frontier really kind of, fixes things that they have not implemented beforehand. This is a sniffing behavior, which they have talked about, as in we already have it, with lions and tigers. If you put down those like smell things, these like little circles, and you just plop them down into the ground and the animal will go there and smell it. Now we're going to get that randomly within a habitat. With this update, we're going to be getting sniff points that are going to exist per enclosure, and if a habitat is destroyed and you remake it, they're going to be regenerated in different spots. So it's going to be pretty dynamic, and I cannot wait for it. Only downside is some of the animals will not have it, but I don't think it's that big of a deal, especially because most of these animals are either amphibians, reptiles, or just birds that don't exactly need the sniffing behavior, in my opinion. I mean, they also show it here. Imagine how cool it will be when you see your lions just going around the enclosure a bit more dynamically and just smelling around, and if you put a flower down, how cool it would be if the bears just go around. The one thing that I'm very excited about is the animal chorus behavior. With the Siamang that is getting added in the conservation pack, we're also going to get a chorus behavior where the animals, I guess, will sing with each other in a choreographed way. And this kind of harmony existing within a zoo, and they're adding it at first to the Arctic and timber wolves as well. I really hope I also see this type of behavior with especially lions, because it is cool to see lions all roar together to establish their territory in the wild. And I think also in the zoos, I've never heard one lion alone roaring in a zoo. It's always all of them together. That said, it also says that with the Siamang, they're going to be able to perform chorus calls with each other even while waiting or climbing. That is absolutely amazing, because it's just going to add so much reality to the zoo, given that the Siamang have such nice vocalizations, at least in my opinion. As for the last few things that they have told us we're going to be getting with this free update is the new climbing enrichment, which we already have seen, I believe, if it's that one, with the trailer as well as the pictures that they've released for the conservation pack. Additionally, we'll also be getting small habitat gates and additional shop counters and signs. Now, for the shop counters and signs, I'm not too excited about them, only because I think we have a lot of variation, but I think it also adds a lot to the shops and counters. What I'm most excited about is the small habitat gates, and I just want to talk about that just a little bit before I leave. The small habitat gates are something that the community has been asking for a very long time. Not in the way of making forum posts about it or, making Discord conversations about it, but more in the way of how to hide my habitat gate. You can see YouTube tutorials on how people have managed to hide the gates or build over them to make them look a bit better. But this is something that the community has even indirectly asked for, and the Frontier team has really brought it up again and made it a thing for us to actually use instead of making us struggle with a bunch of, terrain tools to hide the gates. Just for that, I really appreciate Frontier, and I really believe that this game, before they stop updating it, it's going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be playable for years to come because they're really fixing things and adding new behaviors and adding so many more things to the game that we have not had since the beginning. And I really, really want to say thanks to the Frontier team. And let me know in the comments down below, you guys, what are you most excited about with this update? What are you most excited about with regards to, is it behaviors? Is it the additional, pieces like the habitat gates? Or is it the new, education items? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and maybe give me a subscribe so that we can talk to each other further in the future. I will go for now and hope to see you soon.